Good to see you, Max.
With about 2 weeks left in this election campaign, some Canadians say they still don't know which way they'll vote.
Traditionally, I'm someone who aligns more so with the NDP on a lot of issues. But the reality of the situation is it looks like a two-horse race at this point.
I'm undecided yet, and I'm waiting for the debate of all candidates.
Who's ready to vote for a change?
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is leaning on one word to draw more support: change.
Only a new Conservative government can bring change. We cannot afford a fourth Liberal term. Canada deserves better. Canada deserves change.
In his pitch before this week's leaders' debates, Poilievre is urging people to turn the page on the last Liberal decade, promising a laser focus on cost of living issues if elected.
Mark Carney is hiding again today in the middle of the election campaign he called.
Mark Carney has been off the campaign trail for much of the last 3 days. Part of that time spent dealing with the U.S. tariff threat in his role as Prime Minister.
Look, if the United States doesn't want to lead anymore, Canada will.
Carney is headed into the final stretch, selling himself as the leader best placed to take on Donald Trump and help stabilize a slumping Canadian economy, saying he needs a majority to do so.
We need that mandate because Canada's facing the most significant crisis of our lifetime.
The CBC News poll tracker suggests the Liberals have a 6-point lead over the Conservatives nationwide, and the NDP are in a distant third place.
If you're a Conservative supporter and you're looking at the polls, you might be pretty upset, pretty disappointed.
With time ticking down, every opportunity to reach voters is becoming more consequential.
So that means that the debates will have to shift things dramatically in a way that we haven't seen in a lot of elections.
The leaders have a chance to reach a huge audience with this week's debates. In the last election, more than 10 million people watched the leaders square off in English. Just over 4 million viewers tuned into the one in French. That's why the leaders have a lighter campaign schedule over the next few days. Debate prep is in full swing.
And JP, voters will have a chance to cast a ballot actually later this week.
Yeah, this is such a crucial week ahead. The French debate is on Wednesday. The English one is on Thursday, and then the advance polls open on Friday for 4 days over the Easter weekend. Millions of ballots are typically cast in that early voting. Ian?
JP Tasker in Ottawa tonight. Tonight, the Conservative and Liberal leaders made appearances on Tout le monde en parle, the most popular talk show in Quebec. In the past, appearing on the program has been a breakthrough moment for some candidates. CBC News chief political correspondent Rosemary Barton has been tracking the interviews for us. And Rosie, how did they do?
Yeah, not the worst assignment tonight, Ian, to watch this show, which is so popular, but it's not an easy ride. And Pierre Poilievre, who was first up, certainly felt that. He's very comfortable in French, has connections to Quebec through his wife, but his questions were tough. They were hard. Questions about why he was not talking about Donald Trump more. Questions about how he would take on Donald Trump. And he was asked at one point bluntly whether he is a mini Donald Trump and had to sort of defend how he was doing in the polls. He was also asked why he was going to go ahead and defund the CBC and not Radio-Canada, saying that he believed that there was a bigger market value for English news. And he was told by the host, Guy Lepage, that this was not a good decision. Mark Carney was up after that. He was much more nervous. His French is not as strong as many people probably know. And he got bogged down in some issues. He was asked about energy, about climate change, about taking on Donald Trump. But when he was asked one key question about the host's previous comedy troupe, Guy Lepage's comedy troupe, he landed that answer. And let me tell you, that bought him a lot of goodwill in Quebec for sure.
And Rosie, tell us why this program could matter so much to the campaign.
Yeah, I mean, it's less about language here, Ian, and much more about relatability and understanding Quebec and proving that you understand Quebec. Pierre Poilievre didn't have as much to lose here because he doesn't have as many seats at stake. But if Mark Carney really wants that majority government, it has to come through Quebec, and he needed to do well tonight. He walked away relatively unscathed. The French debate later this week will be a whole different kind of test for him.
Rosemary Barton in Ottawa tonight.